No break, no jam, no sense. A joro jam, a joro, joro, joro. Attention.
So we talk about Nigeria's problems a lot, but I mean, is there any way you guys can see how we could actually start changing stuff?
That's the truth. Because a lot of times, like always, for example, now we're saying inters, whatever the case may be. And yes, that absolutely should end. But it's like, okay, what's the process going forward? Like how, if the police can truly be reformed, then what's the process?
To also rock and slaughter all of them.
Oh, man, that's the goal, but
No people talk, I don't talk that one. No.
that's
No
the
talk
goal.
that one.
But even at that, let's just say we just walk the Aso Rock and just declare everybody. But okay, what's the plan from there? Like, who are we going to elect as like, okay, lead us now? And how do we know they're not going to do madnesses like the people that we've had in charge for generations?
You see, that's the thing, yeah. I think that Nigerians need to start looking outside the top two parties. For
100%.
leadership.
Yeah,
I know
because they are one and the same.
They're one and the same. I know it's the same problem. Every country has that problem. I mean, you have the
Mm.
Democrats and Republicans and all that. And I know that it's very possible for someone to have good intentions and then taste power and change. And I think that's why Nigerians are afraid of voting outside the top two. They're also afraid that their votes wouldn't count because they think either one party would rig it. You know, but isn't it better to at least give ourselves a fighting chance than to admit defeat? Because if you ask me, picking PDP or APC is admitting defeat because you know this is what you're getting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's saying that the enemy is better than the enemy. That thing is nonsense. Please.
100%.
Votes outside the top three. At least we have a chance. There's a chance that they'd end up being the same thing, but at least there's a chance that they won't.
True. Like even the last few, at least the very last one was between Buhari and Atiku. And most people that are knowledgeable about political practices know that Atiku is also a very evil man. So a lot of people saw it as like, okay, Buhari is, let's be honest, he's useless in of itself and he's probably as evil, but then we know Atiku, like there's obviously rumors that he's funding Boko Haram, whatever the case may
like
be.
picking between Satan and a demon.
Oh God! So it's just like, man, let's just go with Buhari.
Allegedly.
You don't think?
Yeah, let's just say allegedly.
Because like people say things, and I mean, it just word of mouth isn't proof or whatever.
True.
Let's not go and accuse somebody
Allegedly.
I think another problem Nigeria faces, especially in times of election, is tribalism. Because
100%.
you know that the North will vote for a Hausa man
Or Muslim.
or Muslim, but they wouldn't vote for. They're least likely to vote for an Igbo man. They're
True.
even more likely to vote for a Yoruba man, an Igbo man, and that plays a factor in how deteriorated the country has become. Do you get what I mean?
I agree.
I mean, like, we shouldn't have to tell people these things. Like, people vote for candidates from their states because they believe that candidate would, for example, give a higher proportion of resources to those states. But now we know that doesn't
That's
happen.
not true,
So what's the basis of voting for somebody because he's Igbo, because he's Yoruba, because he's Hausa, because he's a man, because she's a woman? Just look at the person's credentials and vote. I mean, Buhari, when he was running for president the first time, I think in 2015, he was going around shouting change. And that was sweet. Change,
Change. Strict on corruption. I think that's what really got him in the office, that the fact that he'd be strict on corruption. Because a lot of people said that as a yes, finally, we are going to have military man be strict on corruption. Yeah. But at the end of the day, he's just been as complicit as
he was before.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is that he was shouting change, but he didn't bother to explain how he was going to bring about that change. How can a presidential candidate not go for the presidential debates? How does this make any sense? And people voted for him.
Way too big.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine? I'll do this. How will you do it? Silence. And people still voted for him. Like, come on. I mean, The guy had a track record.
Yeah, he had a
Man,
track record.
I
man.
know that the government is a big problem in Nigeria, but us too, we need to jazz up, man,
Yeah,
because
the people need to jazz
this is
up.
not good
Yeah.
enough. But
If
to
that
be fair, we're jazzing
Nigerian-
up, sha,
If
we're
that
jazzing
Nigerian
up.
youth party actually happens, what do you think is the likeliness that they win? If we actually keep it a buck with ourselves.
I mean, if we, there has to be agenda. All the youth need to dedicate themselves to that party,
Yeah.
and regardless of, well, maybe not regardless of whoever they nominate to that party, but that party needs to be the forefront of all youths. Everybody needs to back that party.
yeah,
I think it'll be better, man. I think it'll be far better than AP
PCM.
or
100%.
PDP.
I
Yeah.
think it's fam. If it actually happens, I will get. Cause have you voted yet? As a Nigerian before, have you voted?
Never vote. No.
Never vote.
You guys have
Never
not.
vote, no.
Like fam, I will. I don't know care how or where I am. I will make sure I get a PVC if there's actually a Nigerian youth party. Like
And something INEC does
Fam.
is they only open that 3 months before the voting period.
yeah,
They don't, like, you can't get one right now. They need to stop that. They need to open it. They need to leave it open every single time so people can
Not
walk in
just-
there.
and
Yeah.
do what-
yeah.
get what they want,
That's
yeah.
they know it's purposeful at the end of the day because a lot of people won't even feel that effort. It's like, oh, it's just
It's
stress
just
going to
stress.
go and
Yeah,
get PVC.
they know what
or
they're
whatever.
doing.
Yeah.
They know what
It's
they're
just
doing.
indirect voter suppression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even just the lack of education in places like the north, for example, so that's why all they know is, now how's that man?
Make a vote
Now
and,
him really
yeah.
get my vote now.
You
I
understand?
mean,
It's
the
mad.
fact that the illiteracy rate is rising and the budget for education is dropping at the same time
Purposeful.
just tell you that they're trying to weaponize this
It's
thing.
purposeful.
And even you guys talked about the party for the youth. See, the thing is that we have to pick a sensible person to represent the party. Because
Absolutely.
I won't just say because he's a young person, let me go and vote
Yeah.
for him. That's what got us into
Yeah.
this mess in the first place.
FK
It
for
has to be-
president.
It has to be a
FK for
sensible person.
president.
president.
Man, see, if fouls,
Wrong.
Oh,
wrongs.
no, you're not
I
about
will
to
do
run
that
agenda
agenda
now.
now.
No,
This is
you're not
agenda
you're not
now.
about to
Wait
run
now,
agenda
wait
here.
now.
Versus
Fouls
Fouls.
Wait now, wait.
Fouls to
please.
back
Is it
guy
because
for
now, wait.
president.
See, first of all, Fouls not lawyer.
True, he's
And
educated,
He has
sha.
shown that he knows what he's talking about. The man is enlightened.
He needs to drop his music if he's running for president.
Obviously,
Yeah, obviously
the man is
now.
enlightened, and he clearly cares. He was out there protesting. He was one of the first people to protest. He released an album talking about Nigeria's
Yeah.
issues.
He was
The
doing it
guy-
before it was cool.
The man is not poor. So I mean, I'd say he's the perfect candidate.
What do you
isn't
mean
it?
he's not poor?
He's not.
Whether it's, I
know-
get what it means in case of like funding, because funding an election bid is very
It's
expensive.
very
Okay,
expensive.
yeah,
It's
very
He's still
expensive.
gonna need funding, but I mean, like
Yeah, but we'd back him though. We'd back
Bro,
Fouls.
I would back
I'm not saying
somebody-
Fouls should be president, but then in the event that he was to run and he was the leader of the Nigerian Youth Party, for example, the Nigerian youth would fund him. At least
they
that's what I
would.
believe.
I mean, they did bring up 25 million in how many days?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
the amount of
think-
money that we've been raising.
For the
Bro,
NSAS
I
project.
think Fowles is the perfect candidate, man, because he cares, bro. I know there's a chance that he will enter there and switch up. And I know people are afraid of
Yeah.
that. But, I mean, okay, look at, between voting for Buhari and voting for Fowles now, you have
I'll
to
vote
weigh
for
your
Fouls
options.
though.
You have to weigh your options. At
If
least you
Fowles
have a
was to win the
chance that
election-
way.
Stop getting all these 77, 80-year-old men in office.
In
People are
office.
about to.
It's not just in
keep
Nigeria, just in the
voting.
whole world,
Yeah,
bro. Like
And we know that they rig, well, they allegedly rig elections.
Man,
Then they
So
rig 'em,
people
Jare.
think-
bro, they
people-
carry
Then they
ballot
carry ballot
boxes.
boxes.
See,
Like,
the thing is that people think that's why people think their votes don't count. If your as much as they may rig it, your votes still count to a certain degree, or else they wouldn't be trying every year to butter you up when election is coming. We see it now every
people's
4
votes
years.
get bought with rice and bread.
Giving people gifts. Suddenly, NEPA forgets that they have to take lights that day.
Yeah.
I mean, we see it you see one animal carry broom and be sweeping street. See me, I'm sweeping street. Please vote for me. You know, if your votes didn't count,
We fall for it every single
guys,
time.
We know these guys don't care,
Yeah.
and so for them to put in that much energy at that time, obvious.
Wasn't
they
someone
stand
that went to
something
go and
gain.
braid women's hair? To show that he gives a fuck.
Like even now, like Sanwo-Olu, like before he became governor of Lagos, like there was no way that you drive in Lagos, you not see that man's face on poster.
Yeah.
Whether it's native land or whether it's the bridge or but then when he actually became governor now, before I used to see him in my dream, I used to see his poster for my dream. But now he's ghost. The only time even during this NSAS thing that it came out is when they started blocking Lekki toll
toll
gates.
gates, yeah.
Because Lagos, as they say, was losing money.
And as
That's
of,
what it is for all this man.
yeah. And as of today, they've lost 200 million. So big up to the youth, man.
Big
Yeah,
up to the youth, bro.
man. They are literally sleeping there on the road
Yeah.
in front of the toll gates.
Yeah, 100%.
Crazy.
Like
boys
this
have
is
really
Nigeria I
tried,
want
man.
to see.
Our boys are really tried. I think things are actually going to change this time because they're not taking shit.
Yeah, they're not
In it, 'cause
yeah.
After protesting, first of all, don't you think it's a bit mad that it took our president 4 days of protesting to address us on this SARS issue?
Do you know why? Obviously, like, let's be honest, the guy is probably not aware of what's going on. They wrote essay for him and they said, oh, you're going to read it out.
You go read that. He wasn't reading it properly, safe.
That's how you know he didn't write it. It's like, if you want
Yeah.
to lie to us, at least do. Even his tweets, I'm like, let's be, like, Nigerians, let's be honest with ourselves. You guys saw the diction and the vocabulary in those tweets. You think President Muhammadu Buhari wrote them? Yourself, no.
Do you think how people back home, like Nigerians back home, are really against the whole LGBTQ movement?
Yeah.
Do you think Nigeria will ever soften up to that?
Yes.
I think so.
No, wait. I know Nigeria's not Africa. It's not America. Sorry. Do you think? Let's be honest. Do you really think they will ever?
Yes, because
I think
first
it's going
of
to take
all-
time, but yeah.
Yeah, because first of all, countries. I mean, we would have been picking cotton 300 years ago,
Fair enough.
and
Yeah.
here we are now. And second of
Okay,
all,
let me.
an increasing number of people, such as us, are traveling outside the country, getting enlightened and traveling back.
True.
And now you have the ease at which information
Travels,
can travel.
Yeah.
So if you keep,
Feeding
telling
them
these people that
information,
it doesn't make sense to not like these people,
Yeah.
they would eventually chance
Even
up. But
Bobrisky,
it may
for
take
example, like before, everybody used to see her
Yeah.
as this one, like my language freak or whatever the case may be. But then everyone has already started softening up to her, like that. Okay, that's the path that she's chosen, and then people love Bobrisky, bro.
In our lifetime, do you think it will
Yeah.
happen in our lifetime?
In our
You will, but
lifetime,
later on in it, I think. When we're in our 40s, obviously us being in our 20s right now, when we're in our 40s, I think that Nigeria would become tolerant to it completely.
yeah.
But then when we have fucking idiots like that Sigalin guy, is like trying to put out a very hateful, negative narrative of like, oh, the feminists and the LGBTQ are trying to hijack NSAS for their own. It's like, first of all, like
Wait.
NSAS, we're fighting for everybody.
I think they don't pay that guy, if you ask me. Sure.
Wait, I just want to ask a question. I'm not for Sega or everything. So I know he's
Yeah.
hijacked. He has his own personal vendetta,
Yeah.
But like, we're trying to end SARS right now.
Okay.
Is this the time to fight for the LGBTQ community as well? Because you know how in America they fought for black people having, their freedom first, then they legalized. It was a step-by-step thing.
Yeah.
They didn't just solve everything in one whole protest or one whole. Do you think that they should focus their energy on just end SARS, or they should diversify it, like, end SARS, but also give gay people their rights? What do you think?
I think
Okay. If I do want to go first.
Yeah, I think we can do both because there are two issues that overlapped. This started because people were protesting and gay people were protesting against the same thing, ending SARS, and some straight people, started pushing the gay people out of the protests. So it's not like we can just ignore that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
Yeah.
course
So I mean, I think we can. I think we can.
This is my thing with the situation. Like, the Feminist Coalition, who have been doing an amazing job, by the way, they put out the tweet, which they actually had to delete because there was so much negativity towards it. Like, they put out the tweet, like, NSAS, we're fighting for people with, for example, people with dreads, like me, people with iPhones, whatever the case may be. So then if SARS can arrest you for having dreads, having an iPhone, having a laptop, and being gay, at the end of the day, it's all NSAS, but we're fighting for them too. It shouldn't be a thing where it's like, those monsters can arrest you just for being gay. We're trying to mitigate factors.
No, but SARS no, and they don't arrest people for being gay. They don't know you're gay.
No, but some people just have. I don't even know how to put it. Let's just say
remember the QE days?
Yeah.
They just carry them and put them in.
Yeah, like some people can just give up mannerisms. They might not even have to be gay, but then maybe just certain mannerisms that they just say that they just assume that someone might be gay or whatever the case may be, and then they just get them, beat them, arrest, blah blah blah. So we're fighting for all Nigerians, and we're fighting for queer Nigerians,
100%.
people that have tattoos, people that have dreads, iPhones, laptops.
That word.
What?
The word that he's used.
Queer?
Yeah.
What
Can we
happened to
use
it?
that?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think so.
No, it's not one
I
of those
I thought it was
derogatory
a slur,
terms,
man.
bro. Bro, you scared me for a second. I thought
No,
I said it
I
madness.
thought it was a slur. man.
Nah.
Okay,
It's not a
okay.
slur, bro.
All right.
But yeah, we're fighting
Fair
for
enough.
all Nigerians, bro. All Nigerians need to feel safe on the streets of Lagos. Or not even just Lagos, just around the whole country.
You know how some people are saying like there should be no panel. Nigerians, you do understand that there needs to be a
The
panel
100% needs
at
to be
a
panel,
particular
bro.
At
point.
a particular point.
Like
I understand. Sorry, I understand that why people don't want there to be a leader
Yeah.
because it puts a target on their back. So the government just takes them out, everything falls
and
apart.
trust
But
issues. To be fair.
and trust issues, and because we've seen this
Yeah.
over and over again in
Yeah.
it. But eventually, there has to be a panel. But for now, what we're doing is working, so we might as well
Continue.
don't fix something that isn't broken in it.
Yeah.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
And I'd also like to address feminism because
Huh.
feminism.
Okay, tread very
Okay,
carefully,
now,
bro.
see, me,
Leave
I,
and make
my
you
own
talk
is
to
that
you, won't talk,
I
Jerry.
won't talk. I think Nigerians are confused as to what feminism is.
I agree.
People need to understand that in every movement, feminism, BLM, even the SARS movement, they're always going to be stupid people.
Yeah.
It's not possible for there to be millions of people talking about something and 2, 3, 4, 5 are not stupid. So people need to be able to tell the difference between a feminist, someone who knows what she's saying, someone who knows what he's saying, and somebody who is trying to hijack the movement and use it for personal gain.
Do you know one thing?
Nigerians are really,
Yeah.
from what I've seen, Nigerians are really bad at differentiating. And that
Yeah.
is why that word, feminist, has sort of become a derogatory term.
Yeah.
We need, if you want to know what feminism is, if you want to know what they believe as a collective, go and listen to Chimamanda. Go and listen to Chim. Go and listen to
Yeah,
Michelle
word.
Obama. Forget Twitter. Twitter is full of people that
People may not get
people
sense.
we no get sense. I think it's very painful in it because, I mean, it's something we should all be fighting for. And I
Yeah.
hope you see it. I hope Nigerian men have seen how women also fight. Well,
Yeah,
it's
women.
Not, it's not a gender specific issue.
And
But
it's not a new thing with Nigerian women or just women in general fighting for us men.
I hope you guys see how we're together now. So when we're
Yeah.
talking about issues that women predominantly face, like rape, show up. Show up.
Yeah.
I know
we
be say
stand
when
for
a
them.
woman won't run for president, you know,
Who goes to
vote
talk
for the
say,
woman,
vote if she
man.
has
sense,
Vote
man.
if she has
Vote
sense.
for
Vote
the
for the woman,
Vote for the
man.
woman.
I think a lot of Nigerians also just believe that feminism is like, female supremacy. People are just uneducated on what feminism simply means, like in the simplest way, is equality. Like that's
Equality,
just the
yeah.
simplest definition of it. A lot of
Regardless of
Nigerians
gender.
believe that it's like, oh, women should be above men, but it's like, no. A lot of foolish people would give up that rhetoric, but at the end of the day, that's not what it's supposed to be.
And so I've had conversations with a few Nigerian locals like back home. Some Nigerians really believe that men are superior. to women.
Superior, yeah.
That's,
Yeah,
that's
no.
bullshit.
Yeah.
That's
To
bullshit,
be
man.
honest, that's something I didn't know happened until
Yeah.
I talked to some
Some
people. And I was
yeah,
like, some people really think this.
that's
100%.
bullshit.
Are you
man.
okay?
No be one we born you.
Are you okay? So
That
because you
pain
be
that they
man,
go through
automatically,
as they born you, can you do it? Never,
Come on.
never, man.
Ben, let's learn to respect each other. All this nonsense.
Yeah,
I
let's learn to
mean,
respect each other.
God damn.
Niger, man, I love you, but you get on my nerves sometimes.
Almost every
Sometimes,
single day, man. As I dey wake up, say.
Just like, oh, like I can't even get sleep anymore because before I sleep, I'll check Twitter and they say that the police are going into people's houses, dragging us and kidnapping us. What if that
Middle of
happened in
the
any
night,
of our
man.
estates or our streets? Bruv, I won't be able to sleep that night.
True.
Bro.
True. I remember when I think it was a few days ago where SARS came through. You know, like some people's houses in the night.
Yeah.
Imagine if that was in your house or you're around your estate. How would you sleep?
You can't sleep.
That's
bro.
crazy,
bro.
man.
People need to start. Well, anyway, people have realized that it can be you because I think in Nigeria, people used to have that mindset that, okay, it won't happen to me, so let me just. But people have started realizing that rich, poor, man, woman, straight, gay, whatever you are, it
Yeah.
can definitely happen to you. So you might as well.
But
just
you know
fight
the
now.
sad thing as well, and it also kind of pisses me off. I know for a fact the day by mistake they get politician's son or daughter, SARS is over. Like SARS is over. By mistake, let's just say that they arrest or kill Osinbajo's son or whatever the case may be.
They won't do that now. The
Ah,
probability
no.
of that happening is very,
It's very
very low.
low,
Yeah,
yeah.
we
Yeah.
can't wait for that.
No, but I'm not
Yeah.
saying we should wait for that because nobody should die at their
Yeah,
hands.
100%.
Period. But
yeah.
then I'm just saying that if something like that was to happen, it's
Mm.
over with.
It's
Like
over with.
SARS is straight over with because police officers, like whoever did is definitely dead. And then from then it would just be a matter of like, okay, how do we make sure as politicians and the elite that doesn't happen again? That's when SARS will end.
It's crazy that they rate some people's lives over others. But I'd like
Yes,
to
no.
say that because I've been hearing murmurings and I don't fear a lot of things in this life. But this one, I'm afraid. Please, the name of God. The fights we are fighting, let's fight on our own. Let's not involve the West. There's nothing wrong with
Leave the West alone.
British government or the American government acknowledging what's happening in Nigeria. There's
yeah.
nothing wrong with Americans, be it normal people or celebrities, using the hashtag, raising awareness. But I beg, army, please.
Oh.
Wherever those people's armies, it does not end well.
doesn't
Why
end
do we
well.
even need an army?
We don't
Like,
need- we
I
don't
want
whatever-
to think about it.
And whatever the West gives you, they take
They
more
take
in return.
tenfold.
Yeah, in return.
Look
man.
at look at Syria, look at Libya, look
Yeah.
at their countries, man.
Afghan.
They're Thank you, Iraq in 2002. Wherever those people's armies go, it
not
doesn't
well.
end
Isn't it
well. So
man?
I did take God beg you, I beg. Let them be raising awareness, but don't say
Don't
that they should come
interfere.
and give
Yeah.
us military intervention.
Nah.
They'll turn
God
our country
forbid.
into a war zone. You see
They
the way
will.
everything, Call of Duty. That's what we'll be doing in the country.
Oh
in
my
it.
god!
Are
Just
we
leave.
live-
Let the West be the West.
So
Yes,
let-
acknowledge
I
it.
mean,
Because a lot of these Nigerian leaders, all they hear is international embarrassment. It wasn't until all those celebrities and whatever the case may be actually started saying NSARS that they're like, it's as if we have to address it all. Because if not, they
But
just
I
like
do-
you to stop now.
I do think that the British government, the United States, all those governments should impose bans on our politicians from flying out.
Facts.
Like I said,
agree.
This,
I agree.
because that is their plan, their second plan.
yeah,
now
to get
Japan,
out,
go and live in
yeah.
London. Thank God that Nigerians are everywhere, so they go your house, and you cannot shoot us.
But would they actually do that? If
These people.
I'm asking, would they actually impose bans on
Now,
on their
that's the-
visas?
No, let me tell you why
because-
they won't. Because it's against their best interest for Nigeria to become a better country. So then that way,
Oh, that's a big one.
Is it?
I genuinely think so. It's against their best interest because even now, for example, the products and everything that they get for us, be it oil or whatever the case may be, is obviously relatively cheap to them because we don't know better and we are more inclined to engage in trade deals than they are to us. So if we become our own nation, just try to be as sovereign as possible and just like, you know what, we're not really trading to you, or if you want to buy our stuff, it's going to be more expensive, then you get me?
Fair
So
enough,
then it's the
man.
thing where it's like, okay, like if they stay wherever they are, like if they're still lower class, whatever the case may be, if they're still third world, we're benefiting as a country. Like, you know how we spoke about it in the SARS thing, like how
Yeah.
Nigeria, we don't have oil, what is it?
Refineries.
Refineries.
Yeah, we don't have oil refineries necessarily, so we have to go to America for them to make use of our oil, blah, blah, blah. So if we actually had here in Nigeria, the British
Working on
and America, they're finished
I
now.
was talking to Ifeanyi a few days ago, and he was of the opinion that we shouldn't be a democratic country. Can you expand on that?
We shouldn't be. I didn't
Hey!
say that
No,
one. though.
you said communist.
Hey!
See, first of all, I'd like to tell
homo.
people that communism is different from Stalinism, and we know
Yeah.
everything.
Okay,
Stalin
fair
did.
enough.
Yeah.
They've merged the two together. Stalinism.
Yeah,
was
American
communism.
agenda now.
Yeah, they've merged
Yeah.
the two together. Stalinism was derived from communism, but they are two different things. But I do prefer democratic society because
Oh, first.
on paper, I think communism is better, but it lives and dies based on the integrity of the government.
Of the government,
If
yeah.
the government is actually competent and they actually care about people, centralizing everything around them would be good.
But history in Nigeria has shown that it's not working.
But exactly, you know, it's a system where you give what you can give to the system and you take back only what you need. So the people who are less off in society get more, and everyone's on an equal playing field. But that's the summary. But we know that human beings, there's a tendency for us to be selfish, all that shit.
Yeah.
And you know, if it's good, it's really good. If it's bad, it's horrible. So that's why I think on paper it's better, but in reality, a democratic society
Communism,
would be
you
better,
know.
man. But people, you know, communism has a stigma around it. Just
American agenda.
just read about it. Read about Karl Marx's communism, man, because it's led to a lot of dictatorships. To be fair, that's
Yeah.
why people.
It
that's
has
why
such
there's
a stigma, yeah.
around it. So I
Fair
understand.
enough. Fair enough.
But democratic. The thing with democracy is that people have found a way to consolidate power, and before you can dismantle that, it takes a lot. Like now in Niger, before we can change anything, we need power. We need to be in a position of power, be it a governor, the president, all that shit. But you can't get there with those kind of motives because the people there already have so much power that they can they can prevent you from doing that.
Fair enough.
So now it's a cycle. I mean, it's crazy, man.
But I was of
It
the
is
opinion
crazy,
that a democratic rule was not.
It was not.
No.
But we
Because he
failed
felt that
very
it's just
much,
another Western practice that we've adopted.
Yeah, he was thinking that
so-
why are we copying what the white man's doing? You know.
Fella is so ahead of the curve, bro. Like
Odogo.
40 years
Odogo,
later,
wow.
like we're still dancing around to his music because he's saying the same things that we're going through, and he's the same guy he was fighting against.
He called the guy human being and be animal.
He's not lying now.
He's
But
not
Barry no be
lying
animal.
now.
He's
not
I
lying
better forget that
now.
one,
I just
Jerry.
wish
Don't
his
carry me
government.
for night.
Can't carry me for Sheffield now. They don't born me. Barry can't carry me now.
Don't challenge
I
him.
mean,
I
like,
beg, I
there's-
beg.
Our president should be someone who is unable to sleep at night if his country is under siege.
Yeah,
or if his
under-
country is on fire.
You fire like this. You
I
know
just
what I
wish-
mean?
I just wish his
sleep,
government
man.
policies were as crisp as his
As
Agbada.
Agbada.
Omo.
That is Agbada is
He
too
should
sexy.
be
It's too
on it.
beautiful,
He's even whiter than this
bro.
food. This
Guy,
come on.
let him just
Starch
scratch you
to
like this. That's your
perfection.
arm.
That's your arm gone.
So crisp. Let's not get into that, bro.
Presentable person, but you know,
Is he really presentable? They asked him a question about about corruption. He was talking about how the companies are coming, how foreign companies like coming into Nigeria to do good business. He can't even answer questions competently. How was Obama having a conversation with Buhari? The contrast is intelligence.
He's mad. Like even Trump said that he never wants to, have a discussion and meeting with someone so lifeless again. Because fam, when you think for Trump to say that,
Nigeria don't chop
if
this out on top of this man. man.
if Trump gets reelected, he's gonna be the oldest president in the United States history. So for him to say
Mad.
for him to say Buhari
He's lifeless.
is lifeless.
You know the man is really lifeless.
You know the man is suffering. Man.
don't chop insults, die, man.
Man.
We've
Like,
not
how can you
chopped
be
insults.
old? And the thing is that Jonathan tried to prove it during the election that they brought out Buhari's WAEC results. You guys remember that?
Even when Buhari was talking about his wife and he was like, his wife is meant for the other room. Do you
Damn,
remember that?
yeah,
Do you remember
he
when
said
that
no, I
happened?
think he said the kitchen.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Such
It's just
backwards
backward-
views.
It was all over the news, man. Even the West were laughing at us.
Or when they said they cloned him.
You,
International embarrassment.
Oh my days.
can you imagine?
And the thing is that, I genuinely think that Buhari is not aware of what's going on. I think he's just a figurehead. I think they're actually like political
he's aware.
advisors around him, like actually ruling the country and actually making
I think he's the one
decisions.
ruling, man.
That one concerns him, man, because he's
He's the fucking
public-
president.
he's the
Yeah, he's the
man.
fucking president,
He's the-
bro.
so we have to assume that
That he's the
he has
one,
the power
yeah.
to do things.
Yeah,
So
but
that
if
is
you're
his
going
business.
to me, like, we see his interviews, we see his statements, but then do you actually think that he's a competent man, fully
No.
aware of what's going on? In my opinion, I don't think so.
The guy gets
mean-
school sat.
No!
You get what?
He gets school sat.
Guy, let me tell you something. They said, guy, bring your transcripts.
Yeah.
In 2014, he brought one transcript. The thing was not even good. Even
It was
the one
why
they-
it wasn't good
even the
now.
WAEC
I remember it was the
manufactured wasn't
front
good.
page of Punch newspaper.
Then
Oh,
2
his
years-
wife wasn't good.
It wasn't the best, man. And then
Bro,
they were going
it
to
was
lie.
bad.
They were going to lie, yeah, and they couldn't even up the grades a little. And how do I know it's a lie? Because next year they released another one completely different. He didn't even have math.
Fuck.
That's
Come
a
on.
president,
Different
you know.
subjects, different results. So what's going on here? That's how they told us Snake ate money.
And Dragon. Did you
And
know about
Dragon.
They didn't even rate us. They said Dragon.
They
Free.
said
said dragon
snake.
ate money.
They
Yeah.
said dragon. They said monkey ran away with money. I said, is this country being
With all
ran
the
in a
book we've
zoo?
read, all the exams we've written,
As in.
with all the English we are speaking, the pidgin, the Yoruba,
Everything.
with all the sense, they said just tell them that.
Yeah, just
That
tell them
dragon.
that. It's like, oh,
Snake
what
and
they
dragon
do?
ate money.
It's annoying now
There are
because
people.
they don't rate us.
There are people who built houses and stacked notes. in
Yeah,
them.
in
And there are videos. If there were no videos, you think it's a lie because that's how crazy it sounds. People hoarding money. That's why we have high unemployment and high inflation at the same time. People don't have money in their pockets and things are getting more expensive. They said bring that principle of economics. You know how they said
They said
most-
Nigeria is actually an economic higgy hugger.
they said, you say,
Patrick.
You know how
Patrick.
Patrick compare
Political
back.
crickle.
States of economic regulation, social sciatica
Of the electric jubilism.
of the bluest dye.
The blessed die.
Oh my days.
That man is a don, man. But I swear that man is in support of Buhari, though. Isn't he?
I think he switched over.
He switched. Fairs.
I hope so, Sha.
Fairs.
It's crazy, man. Where do we even start from? Well,
Where do we
protest,
start
we start from protesting, Sha.
Yeah, we start from
And
protest.
I'm happy that people aren't taking shit because they came out on Saturday. They disbanded SARS. People said, let's see.
Let's
first."
see.
They
Yeah,
kept killing
now.
people. People stopped. People didn't stop protesting. Came out again. The president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria said, "Oh yeah, SARS is over," and they kept on killing.
And they kept on killing people, man.
And they even saw officials saying that you people want to cost me my job. I will waste 29 bullets on all of you. I they use the last one on myself.
To
Can that
confirm
kind of
myself.
person be
Officer,
reformed?
and the fact that even has the balls to put
even
that on
say
video
that, yeah.
and post it just shows how protected they are. Even the whole NSAS thing, they say that they'll be deployed to other units of police or whatever the case may be. It's like, do you just think that we're just dumb? Like, as if they're not the same people. Like, how many police officers that have, who have outed and like, okay, they killed someone. How many of them have actually been arrested? And let me even go into a deeper problem. Like, Nigeria, in terms of like a police department investigation, blah, blah, blah. Like, I know I can kill someone in Lagos and get away with it.
Yeah.
Because how are you going to prove it?
How you going to find it?
How you find
How you
Forensic
even find
evidence in Nigeria is
zero?
non-existent.
the first? Do you know it's possible that we have people like that? Do you know why? Remember day 2 of the protests, we saw trucks and tankers with water cannons on them, the kind you see in GTA. Never in my life. I lived there for 17 years,
Yeah.
and on and off since then, innit?
Yeah.
And I have never seen equipment like that in Nigeria.
Even when the bridge was burning a few days ago, did they
Did they bring it?
Did they bring
Where
it?
are they keeping them?
It's
Where
only
are they
for
keeping
agenda
them, man?
that is time.
Yeah, it's
bro.
only for agenda that
And
they
then
bring
when-
it.
Bro, when you actually hear the stories, like, for example, what's the one I was going to use? They said they wanted to use, I think it was 6 billion naira or whatever the case may be, to make a website
1.6.
1.6, thank you. Like 1.6 billion to build websites to stop corruption, whatever the case may be. Somebody even came out and said that me that I've been doing software engineering, I know it can never cost this much. Give me 10 million, I'll do it.
They are using somebody's money they are going to use to buy a house at Westminster.
I feel you,
Go and
man.
buy
Yeah.
estates.
Just so annoying, man.
Crazy
And they-
stuff.
Man, being Nigerian sometimes,
mean-
you just feel so powerless.
The fact that country is still standing just shows you how much potential it has.
It has,
Because
yeah.
I don't think there's any other country in the world where this much corruption and this much
hasn't
stealing
crumbled
can-
yet.
and it won't crumble.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know, if we didn't have potential, it won't pay so much, but we do.
You do, yeah.
And we used to refrain from talking about these things outside because it was embarrassing and all that. But
But we don't, nobody
people
gives a
don't care
fuck.
again.
No one gives a fuck anymore,
Maybe
man.
international embarrassment.
As in,
We
I,
don't
I,
care
I think
again,
we've
man.
already been embarrassed enough internationally that
Yeah,
it shouldn't
so,
even bother
I mean,
us. I mean, if Snake is eating money
And dragon.
and Dragon is flying,
And
and
monkey is carrying
And
the money,
monkey is
they
carrying
go.
money.
Like,
even the mayor was like, how?
like he was like, he said it's a metaphor.
Is it metaphor? That's crazy. Man.
Man.
They didn't even read the people.
We were jazzing up, Sha. I was
We're
listening to that
jazzing up.
wicked guy that tried to stop
Jazz
people
up,
from
man.
expressing their fundamental human rights.
They
of
know
protesting
Bonham,
and-
yeah.
They mobilize, they march, they talk
said,
wicked, we no
eh?
go agree, yo. We know we
He said everywhere na plutomania.
Ababa.
Me, I don't know that.
I don't know that.
You guys
I
are
don't
going to
go to
deny
that
me.
gang. Me,
Ah.
I know deal.
You guys are
I
going to
don't
deny
deal.
me, no
I
wahala.
don't deal. They marched to his house. So yeah, come talk that way you talk. The guy switch mouth.
The guy switched mouth. He said
They bought you
NSAS.
well.
He
Talk
said
am
NSAS.
now.
I said UK. Okay. oh.
Imagine trying to like trample on someone's fundamental human rights.
In
And
Port
even-
Harcourt as well.
And he even tweeted it, man.
And he
For the world
tweeted
to
it,
see.
man.
Yeah.
That one. What's the name of that man that was when he was challenging Jack on his own app?
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
What is his name?
Nigerians don't care, man.
I've forgotten his name, man. See, that guy tweets a lot of nonsense, and in fact,
Yeah.
between the time between that time and this time.
Yeah.
back to
Yeah,
petitions
because he
nonsense.
made one
But there was
sensible
one
point
sensible
that
thing
the
he made.
West shouldn't get involved.
Yeah.
That's one thing I gave him, but
No,
everything else made no sense.
He made half of a sensible point because
do you think?
he said, first of all, he said that they shouldn't talk about it. That doesn't make any sense. The West should talk about it.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, he now said that they shouldn't intervene with
Which
the
is
military,
true.
which is the part that
Like the
makes
West
sense.
should leave this alone.
Yeah, but now
100%.
he's back to talking nonsense again. So that moment.
I think his
of brilliance
default
has
sentence
gone.
is nonsense now. So he's back to what he's back at.
I mean,
Oh my
crazy,
god,
man.
bro.
And now- yeah.
man.
we're talking about building a new Nige. So
Hmm.
I think the starting point is we need a central register where every citizen should be mandated to register their name, their house address. It should be verified too.
Like
I know. What? Like social security. I know they wanted to use BVNs to do it. 'Cause everyone has a
Yeah.
BVN number, but not everyone has a bank account.
Mm.
So not everyone is registered in it. It's too easy to disappear in Lagos.
But also at the same time, not everybody have homes. What about people living in
that's true.
Makoko?
That's true. But I mean, we have to start from somewhere. At
Yeah,
least most
start
people would be registered that way in it, because, like you said, you can kill someone and just go to Alausa and you've blended into the crowd. You've disappeared.
True.
Fam,
There
the thing
is
is, Nigeria, all the debt that we actually owe European countries, like if these politicians actually had a heart, if they actually cared, all the money they've stolen, if they packed everything together, we've paid off the debts now.
Do you know?
And then we can actually start building the country back, but they don't care.
Do you know the funny thing? If you compare Nigeria's national debt to the US and the UK, there's a huge gap.
Yeah.
A huge
I
gap.
saw America's
because
own trillions
trillions of dollars. We own billions of naira.
But the thing is
That's
that with America has to be in debt.
Yes.
Same like
because
a country like UK, they have to be in
they
debt.
have
That's the
to
only
be in
way that they
debt.
can actually. But
Debt-
Nigeria, we have resources within
Thank you.
ourselves.
Debt financing is how those people keep their economy going.
Yeah.
We don't need that because we have resources. Bro, I always use Qatar as an example,
yeah.
and someone told me that Qatar has a lower population. Okay, yes, but the
Yeah.
point still stands. Qatar was, I don't want to call it a shithole, but
Desert, just call it a
they were not
desert
in the
because
best
that's where it
position.
was. There
They
was
were
a
not-
desert.
They were not in the best position.
A few years ago.
Then they
man.
struck oil, and look at everything they've done. Look at Dubai.
Look at Dubai.
They built
What can
a
we not
super
do?
city of oil. Us, Nigeria, that
We've had
probably-
oil for years,
Yes.
bro. Yes.
So much so that when after independence, our currency was stronger than the dollar. The difference between the pound and our currency was,
Was
like
very
one
tiny.
minute,
Yeah, it was tiny.
negligible.
Yeah.
Now it's 450.
It's 500 now.
It's 500,
It's going to 600. Yeah.
and it's rising. I
It's
remember when it was
rising.
150 and we were complaining.
I remember a few years ago, I think 2 years ago, I was laughing that I let £1 not be 1,000. But if I'm not careful, it's going to reach that.
I
You know what I
mean,
mean?
it's unfortunate that our parents have to send us out of the country for us to stand a
A
chance.
chance, yeah.
And I think people need to understand that there's nothing better than staying and chilling in your own country.
Man, the vibe
People-
is different.
Even opportunities, because people think once you japa, that's it. Life
Nah.
becomes easy.
Story.
That's cap, bro.
Cap.
Serious
Biggest
cap.
of cap.
Cap.
And I think the guys well, let me not say jack, but people who have left Nigeria for, a better education
Yeah.
should come back home. I know it's difficult to say, and it's
Yeah.
easier to say sorry, but like, that's your country, man.
That's home.
Some
Some people forget that though.
yeah, some people forget that, especially the ones we get visa. Or more visa no be passport.
Visa no be passport.
You understand?
Yeah,
Visa no be.
what?
Therefore, I had a friend once that when the last World Cup, when England was about to getting close to winning it, and they were like, he's coming home. He was screaming, he's coming home. I reminded him that, bro, you dare to F4 visa, or which come
Home is Lagos.
home is Niger, bro.
Like, what
Home
you
is
talking
Niger,
about,
man.
about coming home.
You dey
Are you
crazy?
crazy? Guy, just one mistake, you're going home
I
for
swear,
real.
man.
Like,
Last silencer. Tornado.
yeah, you.
Yeah, you see, let's just change that country, man.
Yeah.
Let's change that
But
country.
to be
man.
fair, yeah, Nigerians in the diaspora are doing kind of well, because I can't remember what the figure is, but they transfer money back home a lot,
True.
and that's demand for our currency
Mm.
in it. So it's still, bro. Like
I know. I still think it's good we have Nigerians over here.
Of course,
But then,
of
for
course.
the most part, go home. That's my thing. For the most part, go home. It's good we have Nigerians over here doing their thing, blah blah blah, making platforms for themselves. But at the same time, again, go home.
And Nigeria is ripe, man. Like Nigeria is so underdeveloped that we can be the ones to change it. You understand?
I genuinely think we will.
Yeah,
I think a mass revolution, like this SARS thing, this is great in itself, but I think a mass revolution is coming that people will actually rush Aso Rock.
I just think it doesn't turn. I hope it doesn't turn into war, man.
Obviously, that's
like
not what we want.
it doesn't turn to a civil war.
I just hope, man.
What factors do you think would ignite a civil war?
If the government keeps holding out, because they're trying, it's like they're playing chess now. It's like they're trying to buy time. People are gonna get tired and go home. People are not going to get tired.
People are not going to get
People
tired.
don't get work.
Yeah.
ASU is on strike. People know people are not going to school.
100%. People are not going to school.
And they, as you can see, there's enough money to keep financing the protest.
The protest, yeah.
I mean, just think about it. Two people on I won't call their names because they won't be targeted.
Yeah.
Two people on Twitter have created a rapid response team. In actuality, in the space of 4 days, what do you need? Is it
security?
Is it security?
Ambulance?
They're there.
Yeah.
Ambulances.
Food.
They're there.
Fam,
Food,
we
they're
even
there.
raised
So,
money for someone with a prosthetic leg in a
they're
minutes.
They're fixing people's cars.
Cars.
that were
Yeah, they're
destroyed.
fixing people's cars, man.
Giving protesters food.
Even charging ports at the Lekki toll gate.
Spaces for
charge
people to
phones.
pray.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going anywhere,
Christians
bro.
are protecting the Muslims while they pray. That's
But,
beautiful,
bro,
man.
This is two people have done this. So what is the excuse of a government for not being able to do this?
Selfishness.
Two people have done this in the space of 4 days, and a government with billions in its pockets cannot. It just shows you. I don't want to say it's easy, but it's not as hard as we think.
It's not as hard as they think it is, man. Ghana has light. We don't get light.
That's purely a choice.
But it's a
purely
choice,
a
man.
choice.
There's
They
no
can't-
reason why
they can't-
Nigeria shouldn't have
There's no
constant
reason,
light.
bro. There's no reason. Oh my god,
So,
it's crazy.
like I said, I
man.
think I love Nigeria, but then just talking about it can be so depressing sometimes, especially when you actually just factor in, like, because it's the fact that even like the elders try to even limit like success. That's why SARS were arrested the way it is, because they feel like if you're a certain age, like if you look like any of us and you're driving a nice car or you have a nice laptop, iPhone, whatever the case may be, is that
You have to
can't-
be a thief.
like you have to
Or a
be
fraud boy.
You have to be yao boy now.
Some
It
like,
doesn't make sense in their heads because they're suffering or they suffered at that age. Bro, that's progress. The fact that I can be successful, wherever the case may be in my 20s, you should see that as progress, not me being a criminal.
And I don't know if the police can protest, but like they should be part of this fight because
They should be
we're
part of
fighting
this
for
fight.
their salaries
go
to
on
be
strike.
raised. Did you get what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, why are police officers on 9K a month? Context, that's like less than £20 a
That
month
is
for my
illegal.
British people.
That's even
even-
illegal.
That is
And I
slavery.
don't think they even
Yeah.
paid them. I don't think they paid them because remember we used to hear stories of them going 4 months, 5 months,
Without
6 months.
without
Yeah.
pay. Yeah.
I
That's,
mean,
Like,
come
how
on.
you go
that's why
feed your
anytime they stop
family,
you, they
bro?
say anything for the boys.
And it's
Yeah.
that's the thing.
It's
Because
like,
people,
mama never chop. Like, that's the type of stuff you hear.
Yeah.
now there's a difference between collecting bribes and killing people for money.
Yeah.
Both wrong.
Now,
Both shouldn't
the-
happen.
No, now the thing is, I understand it when police people collect bribes. To be very honest, I'm not talking about when they stop people and say, "Give me money or I'll shoot you."
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
I'm talking about when maybe somebody breaks the law and they give them 5K because these people have families and they're not getting paid.
It's the human condition.
Their
It's a human
condition,
condition.
They bend crayfish. Yeah.
That's the basic.
Yeah.
Guys, that's really mad. That's really mad. People need to put yourself in the shoes of that kind of person. When they
Yeah.
now see 5K, wouldn't you take the 5K? Like, let's be
you
honest.
take it, man. You take it, man.
But
If-
what
keep on going.
But what is frustrating is that they're now taking out their frustration on the people, which I think is so fucking stupid because we're not to blame.
We're not to
for the
blame for
situation we're
But
in.
with the people, at the same time, I'm not defending bribery or, forcing people to give away money. But at the same time, were the people right in front of them? Were the people reachable to them? Like, were accessible to them? You can't just go to government. Even the
Isn't that being
superiors, they're afraid.
But
Even though-
that's been a coward now.
Yeah,
He's being a coward.
If you really want
Yeah.
to stop it, why don't you go on strike?
Hey,
It's better to go on
simple,
strike.
yeah.
Yeah, it's better to go on strike than to
Yeah.
start
It's
pilfering
for-
from.
They should be joining this fucking revolution
Yeah,
instead
they
of
should
trying to
joining us, man.
instead of trying to suppress it and oppress people. Just think about this. Like, private citizens have to hire private security to
Yeah.
protect themselves from the police. Nothing where you know fishy for this life.
There was one woman
I
that
think we
was
know see
there was
people
one woman that
Lagos
was
now.
talking. She was talking in Yoruba. She said that when you have a problem in Nigeria, is it not better to even face the problem by yourself than call the police? Because if you call the police, the problem will double by 2.
She said,
Multiply.
she said that if you have problem and you run into police station, you are in trouble.
You're in trouble.
Yeah,
I mean, we have
fam.
women talking about how these people have kidnapped them, raped them. We have men talking about how
Yeah.
they've been tortured into not a confession is a truth, not a confession. Into saying that they committed crimes they
Crimes
didn't
they
commit.
didn't. Yeah.
The worst part is just not the police. Like, we were talking about it now, like how like there were tankers pouring hot water on people when they
it
were
was hot?
protesting whatever the case. Yeah, it was
Apparently,
hot
that's
water.
what they
Yeah,
said,
it was
that
boiling hot water.
Fuck.
Imagine, because imagine if it's just normal cold water. No Nigerians would
They
dance
go
inside
bath.
it now.
They
Like,
go
Nigerians
giant
will
inside
bath
the
inside
cold
it now.
water,
They'll be
man.
dancing inside, but it's
All
hot
of us
water.
now picking last we go down.
It's
They
the
were-
bucket. It's the
wait.
bucket we grew up having a
Wait,
party.
they were pouring hot water on the citizens.
It was hot water. What do you think people were running? No more Nigeria. They see
Omo,
cold water.
Naija
They say,
don't-
Omo.
Naija, this is Dinko.
You didn't know. Say not deep. I didn't even get to my point. That's the worst part. It was hot water, by the way. I will never forget the day because Barcelona won Champions League that day. 25th of May, 2009. My neighbor's house literally went on fire. The whole neighborhood. We had to get buckets from our houses, blah, blah, blah. Me and my brothers were kids. We're just standing by as my dad is grabbing bucket, pouring it on the house, blah, blah, blah. They eventually took it out. 30 minutes after the fire was out. That's when fire... That is when they came.
Same,
I
because
was like, what?
I was working at Keystone 2 years ago, and it's this like high-rise building, and there was a building beside us. The generator exploded and caught fire, and people were panicking. And you see people using water, of course,
Bucket,
water
Yeah.
to go and put out the fire. The fire department come for where?
For
If
where?
they don't do anything, the fire go just they spread. I mean, we are near the top floor, man. We're just going through that narrow.
Can you imagine?
There was one tanker that caught fire. A tanker with fuel or whatever that caught fire, and people were trying to put it out with buckets of water, and it exploded and killed the people that were near. And there were people on Twitter judging them. But this is how fucked up the situation is. There's no fire department, so if you don't put out that fire by yourself, it will just keep spreading.
Everybody
and
would
there were
die.
houses.
Yeah.
So people have to risk their lives, trying to put out a fire where there's fuel.
Fucking hell,
Where there's
man.
fuel, bro. They have to.
Nigeria is
Remember
a
one time
jungle,
full
man.
poured in front of Green Springs?
Yeah.
The craziest
Yeah,
day I wasn't in
bro.
school that day, you know?
That-
My
that day
brothers
was
were there. My mom
crazy,
told me,
man.
I was like, what?
Oh, we were in
I
school
remember,
that day.
yeah, I remember.
They
we were
rushed
in
us.
class.
They rushed us
Mr.
at the
Dirisu.
Dirisu. Yeah, they rushed us out of his class.
So Dirisu said, "Don't touch anything. Don't pick anything. Just stand up." And
I had
let's
the
go
time
out
of
to
my
the
life
class."
that day, man. Because I think the exercise he gave us, I was not able to handle it. So as the security guard came to and said, so "There's problem," I said, "Thank God, I've saved me." By the time he came back, the English class don't finish. Everything don't finish.
She's like,
man.
Oloa.
We were just playing there.
We're
But
just playing. It was hot.
man.
Yeah, it was serious, man. It was serious. Like, imagine the temperature rules or something.
Yeah,
That's the building gone, man.
bro. That
The
whole
bill-
back
and you
How
know,
many
like,
kids were in there, bro?
were in
I was
there.
stressing because I was in school. My mom, like, we were just driving back to school. Yeah, I remember, of course, late gang, you,
Yeah.
Ehi. Like, I see all of you. I was just like, can somebody tell me what the fuck happened today? Because what the fuck?
That's crazy, man. That's
After
actually
that, they now
crazy.
decided that they had to build a wall between the school because you know the
Yeah.
school is kind of like below
Slope,
the
yeah,
road.
yeah.
There's so many stories of, Nigerian government negligence that we can tell just of being green. Remember when there were there was armed robbers on the road
And
on
the
top that
police
we had to
guys were
rob.
running.
And last man were running.
They were
Away.
running.
Yeah,
Yeah,
last
they
one
were
running
running
away.
See,
But what's one make them do? They don't get guns.
See,
They go
these
die.
police. They said when was the last time you heard armed robber robbing people? It's not the police.
Not the
that
police
rob
robbing people. Yeah.
When they now see carry all of them and go and Drop them in Sambisa. Let them go if they want to shoot people.
If they really want to fight, go and fight Boko
Even
Haram.
the
bro.
way they even shoot people, like, have you guys seen the videos of them like holding the guns away?
Bro, those guys are not professional
at all. Like,
anybody will find gun for bush. Just
carry
gun.
out,
Call
man.
yourself policeman.
As
They don't even
in-
wear uniforms. So as
I don't even think those guys go to any sort of training.
for wear.
That's crazy.
no,
Then-
their own training is similar to C school that we went through now.
Ma-
We
Yeah,
are jogging together. That's their own
Look at them
training.
carrying AK-47, shooting it by the side. As
Like,
if
they say, bruv, like,
That
even
country-
color, even game, you know, go see nonsense like that.
As in
that country looks like a caricature of what a country.
caricature.
Like it looks like a skit of what a country.
No, I remember if I tweeted it or whatever, like a few like time ago, it's like God just wanted to laugh, so he made Nigeria.
Guy, be like, see, man.
Like
Is it
God
that
just wanted to laugh,
or-
so he made Nigeria.
Is it that or when God was coding, he removed one command that's supposed to be there, so everything does that.
Everything's
So
spoiled.
it's our duty to add that command back. So that's what we're doing,
100, man. That's what we're doing.
And I think Nigerians have finally realized that they need to stop waiting for God to come and solve our problems.
Thank you.
And I love
Ah,
that.
people
man.
are
I don't
starting
they
to see
pray.
it now.
Almost see prayer is one side. Walk
Is the
actually
other
do work
side.
on the other side.
Even
man.
for your Bible, they read them as like, you know,
you get what I mean?
prayer
God-
without work.
it's nothing.
God
man.
help those
nothing.
who help themselves.
100,
If
man.
this building is burning now, I'm praying to God, please.
You
God,
walk
please.
perish.
Ah, you
Perish,
oh,
man.
God.
Unalive.
You get what I
So,
mean?
I mean,
And this whole thing that they are saying is in Nigerians to say that God will avenge us. God is not avenging anybody, man. You better avenge yourself. You only have one life. You better avenge yourself,
life
man.
not one,
It's
though.
one life, not one, man.
yeah, that's the thing.
And the
because-
truth is that bad people do get away with stuff if you don't hold them accountable.
yeah.
They do. That's the reality of
This
life.
nigga spitting.
You get what I
Niggas
mean?
spitting,
Bad
man.
people will get away with it, man. You have to be the
Hold
one to
them
hold them
accountable.
accountable.
Yeah.
And this belief that God will punish them in the afterlife.
There is
No.
we don't know that.
Even if
No.
hell is real, just hear me out. Let's beat them here first.
yes.
After we beat them,
I
here,
agree.
God can go and
God
punish
will now
them.
come
And
and
God will
beat
finish
them.
the
See what
war.
I mean? Yes.
Going to finish the work.
Thank
No.
you. Thank you.
The same
I
way
mean-
that, which is obviously disgusting, the same way that there will be gay people or whatever in the street, that's the way we need to be dragging our government officials.
100%. I'm beating
on the
them.
road
They will take them to hospital after. Go and dump them Sabisa.
It's just crazy.
and then
man.
fight.
And then fight.
Boko Haram too is another issue. Like,
do you think that Boko Haram is government funded?
guy, I don't know. Man,
They are because where else are they going? No, let's be real about it. Like even the fact to fight this war up there for as long as where is the funding coming from now? You have to think
See,
to yourself, where is the funding
I
coming
keep telling
from?
people that Boko Haram will be ISIS. They said that ISIS there, but the only thing ISIS have done is we see the work you are doing. Good job, well
Yeah.
done, which is
Yeah.
very fucked up if you think about it. Boko Haram will be ISIS. If we wanted to handle Boko Haram with all the money we have, they should have been history since
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Didn't they give? I think there was a time they were actually serious about ending this group, and they went into Zambeza and they just slaughtered all of them easily. I know. I
Fuck.
remember in Anambra. Now Anambra is kind of like a rich Igbo state in it, so
Yeah.
there are people there with money and power. They went to terrorize one. I'm from Inewi. They went to terrorize one village near Inewi, yeah. And within the space of 1 week, they cleared all those Boko Haram people from there.
Man.
So it just shows you that the fact that these people still exist is a choice.
It's a choice.
It's not like it's a choice. We can,
Yeah.
bro. It's so sad that some people in the north have to live in constant fear. Like how can you send your child to school?
Fulani herdsmen, bro.
How can you send your child to school and you're not sure whether they will come back or not?
That's madness.
How can-
man.
how
No one
can-
should ever have to live with that.
Bro, like a terrorist group, they would just roll into a school with a van
And
and
kidnap-
pack children
pack
and
children,
take them.
bro.
I was reading it on. You can just Google Boko Haram CNN. They give a timeline on their website of all the incidences, and it is way worse than we thought it was.
Apparently, Chibok girls is just one of many.
Just one of many.
It's definitely one of many. Chibok Girls is just one of
I
the
thought it was
more
just
like
a-
televised ones.
Yeah, I thought it was just an isolated incident. It's
So
fuck. And they still haven't released all of them. And when they released the woman, they're pregnant. So you know what
You know what happened?
You know what
yeah.
happened
Yeah.
while they were there. It's crazy.
Nigeria,
Man. No one should have to reach. There's some problems I understand why we have if we're talking about unemployment and all that shit, but there's some problems we just shouldn't have, man. We shouldn't have to convince people to go and to not kill each other.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to
100%.
convince policemen to not kill civilians. We shouldn't have to do this shit, but we do. The bar is in it. That's why I said what's lower than hell. That is where the
That's
bar
the
is.
bias.
That's where the bar is, man. Words can't even describe it. But I mean, this is starts of something.
Nigeria.
We're fighting for better.
Nigeria go better.
Nigeria go
Do
better.
man.
Eko
I
only
love it,
budget.
bro.
For real.
Eko only budget, man.
Niggas went in front of the High Commission in London to go and protest. In Atlanta, they went to protest in front of the CNN
headquarters.
Or to
Yeah.
CNN carried
They
it.
protested here in Nottingham,
it,
They're
bro.
considering one here in Sheffield.
In London, they even
Like,
did a candle.
Yeah.
Candlelit
Yeah.
procession.
Houston, New York, like, bro.
Everyone is doing that, bro. Like you know, those two girls were saying how they call lawyers in night and they drop everything they're doing
To come
and literally go to another state to go and
Man.
release somebody
and
for
then they
free.
find out that SARS has actually arrested more people that they went to go and release.
And they stay there and they get all of them out. Everyone is doing what they can. You have medical personnel giving free medical treatments, you know.
If Nigeria jazz up, that's the
Come
end.
on.
Man.
That's the end.
people
One
where
thing
they
I
fight,
wish
that they
for
fight,
is as
man.
well as like, I just want one day, my biggest wish that Africa would just decide one day is like, let's rely on ourselves. Let's leave the West alone.
Yeah.
Africa needs to jazz up, man, because you were
Like,
talking
let's just
about
leave the West
uniting
alone.
Africa.
Like,
and
yes, we're talking
the
about.
thing is that Gaddafi, that guy is but he tried to unite Africa, and people were not having it. So
On a
I
realistic
don't know,
plane, we are uniting Africa. Although I do talk about it all the time, I do say we should unite Africa. It's going to be very, very, very difficult.
gonna
It's
be
too
difficult,
diverse, man.
It's too diverse.
It's too diverse. 54 countries. Even in Nigeria alone, how many tribes, you know?
36 states.
26 states, bro.
I think it's a bit mad that the West looks down on Nigerians for not being able to function as one, because we're literally 200 different tribes.
Yeah, and they just
merged together.
merged us together.
And
yeah.
they blame us. I know we should jazz up, but at the same time, they blame us for not being able to function as one. As if they didn't start 2 world wars because they weren't able to coexist with their neighbors.
Their neighbors, yeah.
So just imagine being one country.
and just being
The story is told by victors. That's the only way it makes sense.
word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
Man.
Anyways, silencer.
Terror the Archangel.
Thank you. To a better Nigeria.
To a
To a
better
better
Nigeria.
To a better Nigeria.
We come in.
We go
Thank you as
better.
always, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you as always for coming through. Always, like he said, the Corny Budget. Like
Corny
that one
Badger,
is coming. Thank you for coming through as always. Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. You know, what fella. What fella. And yeah, thank you for coming through.
Thank you.
for checking Green Passport out. Like, comment, subscribe, and then things there. And
All
yeah,
that good stuff.
we out.
Wow.
Peace.
Nice episode.